Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're doing a review on the Ryobi One Plus range. Now the range I've bought come from America. I imported it, here it is. Now the reason I imported it is even adding the import duty onto what it cost me, it still worked out a lot cheaper than buying it in Britain, and the equivalent of what it cost me in Britain, I would have only got 3 tools. And this one I got 6 plus a bag plus an extra battery plus lots, to be honest. There's loads and loads of extra. So I've had them for about a year now. Some of it I've barely used, if I'm honest. Others I use all the time. So we'll just jump straight in, tell you how good they are or how good I find them, because it's my own personal opinion, and go from there. So the one I used, the 2 I used the least, I'll start with first. So first things first, this one is a multi-tool. Now it came with a flat blade. So I took the blade off, we put this triangular pad on, which is just for sanding. Obviously you've got a speed or vibration adjustment here, which just obviously, like all multi-tools, you just adjust from whatever you want. To be honest, it is really good. I've used it to flat down my daughter's wheels, and yeah, it's very good at what it does. It's a multi-tool. The blade works really well for cutting as well, but I haven't used it a lot, so I can't comment. I haven't used it enough to warrant to tell you how long the battery lasts, because again, it isn't used that much. So the other thing I don't use that much is it's a resaw, basically, reciprocating saw. Now you can change the blades from steel to wood, plastic, whatever else. I've got it on wood. We used it to obviously cut up some planks and stuff. Very, very good, very powerful. It cuts very well. It's really easy, quick release. You just flick the catch, out comes the blade. That simple. And just slide the blade back in and lock it in, and that's it. Very easy to use, very, very powerful. Again, I've not used it for a long period of time to know how long the battery lasts with it, but I've used it a lot and it hasn't flattened the battery. So we get, this kit came with a 1 amp hour, 1.5, and a 4 amp hour battery. Now the 1 amp hour battery we use in the next thing we use actually quite a lot, just the torch. So, but the torch, it's got a pivot head on it. It's incredibly bright. I won't put it straight into the camera because it will blind it, but incredibly good. We have this in our camper full time. The battery just goes on forever because it's only LED, runs brilliantly, absolutely really, really bright, really hard. It's got a nice rubber grip. So really, really good torch for what we use. And like I said, it lives in our camper. I brought it in so you can see it. And with all Ryobis, all the batteries fit, just twist and out it comes. Pull the 2 levers. So next is just a normal cordless drill. Obviously it has clutch settings where you can turn it up and down, and speed setting on the top, and drive settings. But it's a normal cordless drill. Very good. It's I've done it's got a little magnet, where you can put screws and stuff that are loose, and obviously the bit can sit in there. The little torch, work like torch. Very, very good. With the 4 amp hour, it just goes on for days. It's really, really good. And again, we use it a bit. Again, I've not used it enough to flatten it because it just keeps going, to be fair. So I think it doesn't go through the battery that fast considering how much you use it. So that's really good. Now, the one I use all of the time is that, which is why it's so grubby and so battered, the impact driver. Now it's got a little clutch where you just pull it in and out. See, I went to a little local store of ours and bought this kit. Which is perfect for this, because if you've seen any of my fixing videos, I use this on the cars all the time, because it's literally just a case of pull that and in it goes, and pull it again and out it comes. lovely. I love this. Again, it just goes on and on. I've never flattened a battery, and I use it all the time. Use it to take off under trays and put them all on all the mud shields on cars, and also just screwing things. Again, you can put anything in it as long as it's the hex drive. Absolutely brilliant. I love this. Again, I've not flattened the battery. It just goes on and on and on. So the Ryobi batteries they come with are brilliant. Now I did buy another battery, which is there, and it claims to be a 4 amp hour battery. It says it on the bottom there, but it's half the weight. Half the weight, which means if it's half the weight of the Ryobi, there can't be as many cells in it. So it does work, and it works fine. It's a generic one. It's a copy of the actual, because the actual Ryobi ones, One Pluses, are actually very expensive, but you know why, because they are phenomenal. This does work, and it is strong. Doesn't last as long, definitely not. And if I'm honest, it doesn't feel like it's got the 4 amp hour punch that this one has when you're really trying to undo something. But it was just, to be honest, an emergency, because the 1 amp hour, obviously if I'm doing a lot of cutting or whatever, then 1 amp hour does go quite quick when you're running something like this, which is the last thing, which is the saw. Now it's only a small blade. It's got the safety guard, as they all have. You can adjust the blade and lock it there, so you can undo it with an Allen key in the centre. It comes with a metal and a steel blade, but if you put the 1 amp hour in that and you're cutting wood, it dies quickly. And the generic 4 amp hour battery is alright, but it's nowhere near as good as the original. Now I will be buying a 5 amp hour because they are really, really good. Our camper has like pallet wood as a lot of the stuff, and we cut it with this, and it just, again, brilliant. Really, really good cut. It doesn't struggle. I've not cut anything thick, so I can't comment on that, but it does cut like pallet wood type things like that very, very well. I've not had to replace the blade. I put the blade on it when I got it, and it's still going, so I can't comment on blade life. So yeah, that's it for that kit. But the kit, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'll tell you what, I was very unsure whether to buy this kit, and because I know other brands, but since buying this, I wouldn't touch anything else now. They're absolutely brilliant. I've not had any failures. I've not had any breakages. I've not had anything go wrong. They are, for now, faultless. So yeah, that's my review on this. And yeah, I hope that helps. And if there's anything you need to know or anything you'd like to know, just chuck it in the comments and ask, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Like and subscribe. See you in the next one. Cheers, guys.